Hey, wanna play Mario Kart DS?
Jesus Christ!
What are you doing here? Mario Kart DS. Let's fucking play Mario Kart DS. Okay, I have a DS in my closet, but I don't have the game. But through the power of download play, you can indeed play multiplayer on multiple systems with only one copy of the game. The only catch? You'll have to play as a shy guy like a bitch. Saying the DS was a revolutionary system for Nintendo's handhelds is a huge understatement, as this wouldn't just be the best-selling handheld, not just outselling the Wii and the Switch, but also the second best-selling game system, only slightly less than the PS2. But this wasn't just simply a result of Nintendo diving headfirst into new things, you see. Nintendo not just put in a GBA slot for models before the DSi, but also a few features based off the GBA to play things safe and give people reasons to switch over to the DS. One such feature was actually based off how you could play multiplayer via the Lynn cable, with only one copy of the game. Download Play allows the DS to temporarily download data onto one system from another, allowing for not just multiplayer to be accessible, but also game demos and even smaller games to be playable. The last thing you can do actually reminds me of a neat ability the PS1 had, in which some games would load by downloading themselves to the console's RAM with how small the file size for the game was, letting the player remove the game disc and put in other discs, usually music CDs for unique editions. These included Ridge Racer, where you could insert a CD to listen to during gameplay, so instead of having to listen to Rotterdam Nation, you could listen to the Zebo mix of Rotterdam Nation. Vibra been letting you auto-generate stages based off the sound data, and Monster Rancher, which pulls values from the disk's data to generate unique values for monsters. Download play data basically acted as short-term memory, as it would last until you quit out of the software or turned the system off, and if a multiplayer game session ended, you would of course be prompted to exit the software. Now to go into detail of download play's features. For multiplayer, people would often be pretty much given lesser game abilities, such as in the previously mentioned Mario Kart DS, where players joining via download play would have to play as a colored shy guy. But the worst case scenario is with Kirby Superstar Ultra, in which the second player has to play as whatever character is occupying the partner slot, and the players can only go through the campaign of Spring Breeze, which on their own are pretty reasonable restrictions, but the gameplay isn't even shown on the second player's screen. They have to shoulder surf player 1. Was it really that taxing to implement a gameplay screen for player 2? They didn't even have to make it so player 2's screen centered on the partner character. It would have been fine if they just mirrored player 1's screen, and I don't want to hear anyone say that it was meant to make it like Superstar on the SNES's multiplayer. Both players would be looking at an at least moderately sized TV in that case. Thankfully, Sonic Rush really took Sonic's "come on, step it up" to heart, as this is indeed a step up from what we've looked at. We have a mode where both players try to race each other to the end of the level. As a kid, I was kinda worried about Sonic and Blaze's movesets being different getting in the way of a balanced race, but the thing I truly took offense to was when I got stuck at a gimmick in one of the levels that I didn't know I was supposed to, if I'm remembering correctly, have the momentum to push a wall so it curled down into a floor for the player to walk across. So I just sat there confused while my opponent was flying ahead. But still, Sonic Rush definitely takes the cake for a good implementation of download play. Bakugan Defenders of the Core also had a pretty good download play mode as well, as both players got a decent selection of characters to play as in the multiplayer battles, making for a pretty good arena fighter. One really great download play mode could be found in Zelda Phantom Hourglass, as you get a very cool new game mode mode with it. Basically, one player runs around as Link, grabbing Triforce pieces and delivering them back to the spawn point, while the other player operates multiple phantoms trying to one-shot the Link player, the two players swapping roles each round. I honestly loved this game mode for how creative it was, and I think Nintendo realized they made a banger as well because they pretty much made a reimagining of this game mode as the Nintendo Land minigame Animal Crossing Sweet Day. You also got game demos with the power of download play, which is a feature also loosely inspired off of the GBA, as that let you connect a link cable to the GameCube, and some demo discs would let you download demos onto the GBA, or even get special items for games like Fire Emblem. I'm not sure if there were any DLC you could download onto DS games with specifically download play, but it would be a great feature. You could download demos off of places like the Nintendo channel for the Wii, and I bet this introduced people to a lot of good games like Elite Beat Agents. Side note, I freaking love this game. There's a reason why the Awendon series would inspire one of the most popular freeware games out there. Another thing you can get with download play were special minigames. As you can imagine though, there were of course not many of these. The only game I can think of in this category is Poke Park Fishing Rally. It was a small little fishing game that you could download on a Poke Park theme park, not to be confused with the Wii games. It's currently lost, and from what I can remember, the only person who has the game preserved is refusing to release it to the public, which does kinda suck. But hey, we can only hope that someone else finds a copy and is willing to let the public play it. Okay, I've played so many matches that it's 9 PM now. Are we good now? But we're just about to play D Sonic Rush Racing mode, and I'm about to file the restraining order.